sunshine. Did you sleep well?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna motor. Go down there, take a right. The binoculars? Gonna go about 50 miles to a dock in a place called Coinjock. I've been told that this is pretty much just a marina and the restaurant and nothing else around. Slept like a rock last night. It was so nice to sleep at anchor again.
Yeah, so definitely some more coffee. I'm not a little slow today. I've been drinking as much as I probably should have for my own health.
Yeah. Oh, back on there.
Thank you so much for making breakfast.
Spicy Cajun, a little bit of ham, jalapenos, roasting some peppers. I'll add a little bit of cheese and eggs and then put everything in the peppers and then maybe a piece of toast.
Fancy breakfast.
Fancy schmancy.
Yeah, you're moving, Drake.
Yeah. I'm going back the way we came. Let's just go back out and come back in. Oh, we ran around right there, huh? Jeez. I wanted to get closer to the red. I guess I got a little too close to him. I'm gonna do 180. And then steer right in between the red and the green.
I wouldn't want to be hard ground right here.
No, not here.
So Drake was telling me the story. Basically the merits of not sailing the ICW at night. And then he's like, well actually I did sail the ICW at night. He's talking about how he was at ground. And then right then I felt this motion on a Paragon and it didn't feel normal. And I'm like, wait, Drake. And I look at the depth sounder and I'm like, what does that mean when it reads 0? and I think I just said, I'm like, reverse, man, reverse. And reversed it, and we didn't hit too hard. They say there's types of people, you know? People underground and liars.
Coinjock Marina, Paragon.
Hi, this is a sailing vessel Paragon, a couple minutes from your location, hoping to tie up for the night. Well, they close at 6, but he's going to stick around to help us tie up.
Okay, well if you guys will set up the fenders and dock lines, then I'll make sure that we don't run aground.
Again.
After I found out how much these things are, I honestly think I would dive into the water if I dropped one overboard. Jeez.
It's definitely cooled off though. I mean,
yeah, it's cold, man.
Yeah, I'm interested to find out what the temperature actually is. So.
It's kind of nice because our spring line is red, so I always know. Yeah, the first time I ever threw a line, I was like,
It didn't make it, huh?
it faded in the water, on the dock, on the guy's legs, in his face. like that it was like.
This is my first time at the rodeo.
Yeah. I'm like, is this a rodeo? I thought it was at the circus.
I think, is that it? I see a...
Probably.
I think I see a trawler there. Yeah, that's it. And it has tide markers on the side. And here we're showing it 66 feet as we pass underneath of the bridge. It's always a bit precarious. Drake's celebration for not dismasting.
Looks like a lot of room on our side of
Let's
the
do it.
piling dock. I've shut this door down a while ago. You can just settle up the bar. Okay, at the bar. Yeah, you can pay. What's the boat? 42. Okay, I'll let them know, guys.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
I'm gonna go grab some.
Let's see.
You got an inch right there of space.
What I like to do
Just tie it on the piling.
tie it to the piling. So here we are at the end of day 2. We just pulled into Coinjock Marina. It's been a long day of motoring. It's now 7 o'clock and we pushed off at 8 o'clock this morning. Tired, weathered, and hungry. Some of our friends in Oriental told us that we need to stop at this restaurant, particularly if you're into prime rib. So,
There were like 3 or 4 different things.
really? What else?
I have no idea. I think there was like a burger. There was definitely a cocktail.
Coinjock Marina. Take the whittled down ends and put them in
ducks.
these holes. What are those? Those are
Ducks.
those are decoy ducks.
You put those out, and then that has other ducks that will be attracted
And
to
you
it.
make that.
And then you shoot them. Are you a duck expert?
I am somewhat of an expert.
Persistence is the name of that boat.
Persistence.
Persistence. That's how I got my wife to marry.
It just feels so good to be sitting down and not staring at buoys. In a lot of ways, offshore can be a lot easier and simpler because you're not like looking for the next buoy every few minutes. You know, where's the next buoy? And steering by hand is offshore. It's just setting the vane and going. Sandbar martini list. This one's kind of interesting. The pissed off boat captain with a broken rudder house special. The toast of the second day of Paragon sailing to Ireland. Here's to the cruising life, guys. Thank you. Cheers. So they just brought us out some homemade potato chips.
We'll pull into the Hospital Point anchorage really, really easy. And then I know I rode to the dinghy dock at Tidewater Marina. So easy. I mean, the only disadvantage is it's Norfolk. It's just not as commercially trafficked because like half of it is taken up by the U.S. Navy.
Can we wrapped up to a destroyer?
No, they would shoot you long before you got that close. You know?
Yes. And then you hear it on the VHF, you know, alert, you know, keep 500 feet away at all times or deadly force is authorized. This is the Coast Guard sector, Norfolk, out. And they do it like every 5 minutes, right? So it definitely is impressive, a little awe-inspiring, and the majesty of these enormous vessels and the tanker ships that you get to see.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
So, Ashley, the dockmaster at Whitaker Point Marina in Oriental, and a good friend of mine, highly recommended that we try the prime rib. That looks pretty spectacular.
Can you say it again?
Hopefully we'll make it to the anchorage in Norfolk. If not, then I'm sure we'll find somewhere to drop a hook or tie up to.
I'm not worried about making it to Norfolk.
Yeah.
We'll definitely make it to
Before
Norfolk.
sunset.
before sunset. If there's any place that I know of to go in the dark, it would be Norfolk. It's lit up like a Christmas tree. So you can't really appreciate it here, but you'll come in here, and there's a little breakwater there, but the anchorage is all this area here, and it's just protected. So you can row your dinghy into that marina, and then the ship's store right there has a little dinghy dock next to that pool. Did the fender pop out? I don't know. I just wonder if we shifted.
Be careful out there.
Yeah, lions and tigers and bears.
So if we anchor in Portsmouth, we'll have no problem rowing ashore?
No, you'll be able to go ashore, and if we want to get a taxi
From Portsmouth to Norfolk?
to Norfolk, I think that would be
Do they have a
easily
water
doable.
taxi?
That's right. A ferry runs from Norfolk to Portsmouth, North Basin, North Harbor Landing, and then South Basin, High Street Landing, every 30 minutes for $1.50. Exact
Oh,
change only.
awesome.
There is signs in both basins that state no overnight docking. However, we know of several cruisers that have reported they've had no problems tying up overnight. So there's a sign that says, this is illegal. But people do it anyway. It's almost like, you know the secret you told me in confidence? I'm going to tell you too.
But I'm gonna publish it.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll just see what the weather looks like tomorrow.
Yep.
And then
Cool.
we'll do whatever works.
Aye, and pretty much regardless of the weather, we will push off from here tomorrow. All right, good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
We just left Coin Jock Marina at 8 o'clock in the morning, or 7 o'clock in the morning, just after the sun started to rise. The weather's crap, man. It's like drizzling and cloudy, foggy. Visibility kind of sucks, and it's really cold. Whoever's on the helm has to stand here with their head out in the weather, and it's freezing.
So how did you guys like Coin Jock?
Yeah, I think it was a cool little, sleepy little town. He was right about the prime rib.
Yeah.
It was good. It's a busy place even in cold winter time. So I mean, it was kind of good amount of customers last night.
There were some characters in that bar.
And it reminds me of that country song about, I love this bar. I got the place. It had all the different groups there,
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
You checked the weather report earlier this morning and found that it was 28 degrees in New York City, and we're going to New York City. Where it's like
Awesome.
28 degrees.
So, are you cold right now?
Yeah,
Okay. I thought you're from Boston, man.
I am from Boston. No, I'm ready for the cold. The reason we pushed off from North Carolina this early is because our objective is to get to Greenland this summer, and for that, there's a very small window where it's acceptable for navigating.
So that's a predictable weather window.
Yeah, like we got 2 months. We need to push off from St. John's, Newfoundland in early May. So we have a lot of miles to cover to get to St. John's, Newfoundland from here. That's why we're going to New York City when it's like below freezing temperatures. We're gonna push off from Norfolk and go out into the Atlantic Ocean. Try to sail directly to New York City, or if the weather turns bad, then we'll duck in at Atlantic City, where I know of a decent place to anchor. Freezing weather sailing off the North Atlantic. You think this is cold?
Yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh man, I breathed on them.
Yeah, I know, that's... Alright.
Wow. That's exciting.
That is, the hat really completes the look. With the duct tape on the side.
Man, it's just a dreary day, you know, and it's just so different when you come through places and it's different conditions and then you remember it. These days make coffee taste better.
Absolutely, I was thinking that earlier. This is like the best coffee I've had in a long time.
Why, thank you very much.
What was it like the last time you went through here?
I remember it, you know, having to wear that hat, you know, and lots of sunscreen and bug protection. And just being eaten alive because of all this swamp stuff, which you can't see. Take my word for it, it's there.
Yeah.
And on this little boat, just screaming along at 6 knots, going southbound, so looking forward to coin jock and getting a beer and chilling out. And, you know, now, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting to Norfolk, but, you know, I don't want a beer, you know, I want a coffee and some Baileys.
Yeah, a hot toddy or something.
So this enclosure is great, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be such a different ride, just the spray dodger here.
Yeah.
Because here you're not feeling the wind effects.
Right. With this full enclosure, we're able to be completely protected from the wind and the spray all around. We're in this little bubble. We just have the little part in the top there where you have to stand so that you can see around us.
It's a big nest.
Where's the nest? Nobody home. Maybe they're down below asleep. Boy, it sure is awesome having crew rather than single-handed. Give you a break from the helm and from navigating, and you know, so you can like go down and use the bathroom or get another cup of coffee or whatever. It sure helps being able to take turns and everything.
Do you think we should tip him?
No, let's see how good of a job he does.
Yeah. It was really crap earlier. I'm really glad it calmed down. You can almost imagine that you're back in time, hundreds of years or something. Watch some dinosaurs come out from behind those trees. So we're gonna come up to our first bridge. It's in about 3 miles, and we've reduced our speed to 4 knots to time it because the bridge opens up on the hour. So rather than getting there too early and having to just float around and wait for the bridge to open up, we've reduced our speed from about 6 knots down to 4 knots. So we should get there just as they're about to open.
North Landing Bridge. North Landing Bridge. This is a sailing vessel Paragon heading northbound over.
North Landing Bridge.
Sir, requesting your next opening at your convenience. Is it on the hour?
That's affirmative, Cap, 12 o'clock.
Thank you so much. We'll idle back. Appreciate it.
There's the bridge. The bridge! We're here!
They just still not open. Oh, there's a boat on the other side. Who goes first? Did they tell you?
North Landing Bridge to the southbound border. Hang on. Hey, Captain, be advised, I'll be opening up here shortly, and there's a northbound sail waiting to come through also. Okay, thank you.
You want to call the southbound motor vessel and tell him that he can go first?
Southbound motor approaching the North Landing Bridge. This is the sail vessel Paragon.
Got it.
Do you want us to hold while you go through, or do you want us just to pass on the board?
Okay, I'll come through first.
He's coming.
Roger, thank you.
It must be an interesting job working as a bridge tender. Thank you! They're 5 miles away. They open on the hour and the half hour. You know, we can't make it in half an hour, but we can make it in 1 hour if we decrease our speed to 5 knots.
Cool. Sounds good. And then I think the next one after that is like 3 miles or
Exactly
something.
5 miles and an hour and a half hours. So we'll make that one at the, a little bit above 5 knots.
Cool, yeah, okay.
Awesome. What time is it?
It is now noon.
Awesome.
The big question now is, do we anchor for the night, get up at daybreak and go offshore from Norfolk, and then straight to Atlantic City or maybe New York City, or instead maybe stay for a day in Norfolk? We still need to decide on that. We'll be in New York City soon, and it will look very different than this. Right down here I've got a Pelican case that I mounted on the cabin top to hold our video cameras so that we can get to them easily and quickly when we want to. On other voyages, I always had my camera down below. Sometimes it was just too much of a hassle for me to go down below and grab the camera. Now with the cameras right there in the case, we are ready to film. Take a look at our chart plotter. The NavNet 3D made by Furuno. I installed this puppy myself, and right now we're looking at a raster chart. It's an actual scanned in version of the actual NOAA chart. And zoom in, you get all the detail that you can get on the actual paper chart. Also, with the use of this rotary key menu system, you can switch from the raster scanned in paper chart to a vectorized version that looks very different. Sometimes it's easier to see what's going on with the vector version, and other times it's preferable to have the raster version. It's also got AIS integrated into it. We've got 3 vessels here. You can see their MMSI number, course over ground, speed over ground, range and bearing, and closest point of approach, and time to closest point of approach. It's pretty cool to have this AIS thing on the chart plotter. It makes it easier to figure out where these boats are. This boat right here, the big red one, is us. It shows us going that way. Also, there is a radar display. Let me power up the radar. Okay. And if we go here, then you've got the chart on the left side and then the radar on the right side. And bring the cursor over to the radar side of the screen and zoom in and zoom out. Up here it shows you that each ring is 0.062 nautical miles, and the outermost ring is 0.125 nautical miles. And as you zoom out, the display changes, those numbers change. And as you can see, it's picking up all these trees all around us here as we go down this stretch of the ICW. You've got the trees on both sides, and they're showing up very clearly on radar. I think this is going to be absolutely essential to have when we're sailing around icebergs off of Greenland, because icebergs do reportedly show up well on radar. Another kind of cool thing that this chart plotter has is a satellite imagery overlay. You can go here and choose overlay, and then choose sat photo. You get this satellite image that gives us a good idea of what the surrounding area actually looks like. Let me zoom out a bit more. Takes some time to update the display. It's not quite instant. For some reason it's not just updating up there. We'll zoom in on the boat. Looks like there were clouds in this area when they got this sat photo. It's actually not that detailed right here. In other areas it has been very detailed. I've actually seen slips and marinas and individual boats and marinas. And again, all we've got around us here are trees. Finally, if you hold down this button in the center here, it does this three-dimensional view, which is kind of cool. But I don't actually use it. I haven't found it that useful. I mean, it's really kind of neat to see, but as far as actually helping you navigate it, I haven't been able to figure out why it's such a big deal. I always just set it to the 2D view and usually don't have the sat photo showing, and have it set to the raster version of the chart that I like more than the vector version. There's a lot of history to this waterway. In World War II, the ICW was really useful for shipping on the east coast of the US. Boats never had to go offshore. Big cargo vessels could go down this waterway and not get blown out of the water by German U-boats off the east coast. It's used much less by commercial shipping today. There are some like mini barges getting pushed by tugs, but I haven't seen very many of them. I think today it may mostly be used by recreational boating traffic. I wonder what the budgets are to maintain it. I'm sure it needs a lot of work, checking soundings, dredging, and certainly all the bridges must require a lot of funding. Glad I got to go down the ICW this one last time before we leave the States. It's really a special part of boating on the East Coast. Here we are at the next bridge. We timed it perfectly. We went exactly 5 miles in 1 hour since the last bridge.
Centerville Turnpike Bridge. This is the northbound sailing vessel Paragon. I'm requesting your next opening, sir.
I think our mast is a little too tall for this bridge. I like 50 feet. Lunch is ready. They're all in these great little packages where they're all nice and toasty and locked like that. The silverware's in there, 2 cookies, and this wonderful leftover chicken, basil, tomato, onion concoction. So we're very much looking forward to that.
Cannon to starboard.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's so much nicer now that it's not raining. It's chilly, it's gray, it's everything, but at least I can see. I got a little sick this morning. We were going across the sound and I was down below making breakfast, and it was really windy and choppy, and then the boat got a little rolly and I was cooking eggs. Trying to make Norfolk by tonight. It's interesting because it's 50 miles from Coinjock to Norfolk, and the first 30 miles are pretty uneventful, and then in the last 20 miles there's something like 10 bridges. We are currently going 2.9 knots because there's a bridge up there on the corner, and there's no reason to rush, because if we rush we just get there and have to circle, which especially in this area it would be a little difficult. There are tree stumps over there and tree stumps over there in this channel kind of down the center, and it's just no fun circling. It says we're 2.6 speed through the water, but speed over ground is 2.9, so we must have a bit of a current. I am so glad that Adam is with us. He's awesome. And that isn't just because he brought 3 large bags of beef jerky with him.
Hey, I haven't seen the beef jerky.
I haven't seen it either, so maybe he hasn't. Maybe that's like keeping us strung along.
Maybe we're going to have a beef jerky celebration when we get to New York City.
I started the warning bells. Do you need some help?
I think we'll be good.
It's kind of exciting. I've never been through a lock before.
One thing that I learned is that you don't cleat your lines when you hand it up to him, because you know it'll be moving there and it'll rip out your cleats out of your boat. You hold on to them.
Interesting.
How many feet between us and the wall?
6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay.
On your stern is close.
How you doing? Okay, Captain, clear her up. Here we are at the Great Bridge Lock. We just came in through the opening down there and tied up to this wall with the help of the people at the lock. And they're going to open down there after they raise the level of the water to match the other side. We're gonna go up by less than a foot.
When I was here last was right after Hurricane Irene.
Yeah.
The gates were not operational. So they have another door that was there, and so they had limited openings. So they had to wait. You got one opening that day.
Wow.
And that's when the water levels are most even, and then they make one pass.
Wow.
To fix it. So it stopped pretty much all traffic. So we camped out there for probably like 8 hours, just around this little creek. All these boats, together, waiting.
Just
past.
waiting for the
Waiting for the lock.
the two tides to equalize. Wow. There's poop on the wall here, just where we docked.
Yeah.
Must be good luck or something.
No, it's not. It's just poop.
Did you hear the ice cream truck sound?
The ice cream truck.
We hear an ice cream truck sound, but all we see is the dump truck. But it's left me with this enormous hankering for a popsicle.
It does. It's the ice cream dump truck. So at this very moment, the water level in this lock system is being raised by about a foot. We're kind of oblivious to it, but it's happening. They require life jackets if you get off the boat.
Which is funny because we're on the water and we're not currently wearing life jackets, but if we go on land, then suddenly we need them.
Yeah, well, you might fall off the side.
Might fall off.
There's no rail, you know.
I'm not sure because
But there's an emergency
the
ladder.
contracting company's running it right now while they just installed the new span and did that this spring.
Yeah.
So everything's off, when we're used to.
We have a little emergency ladder here on the port side, dangling off the side. The ladder's contained in that bag. And if you were to fall overboard and couldn't swim to where that bag is, you just have to grab that webbing strap on the bottom and pull that ladder comes out of the bag. So you can get back on the boat. Oops, the lock is open.
Really low down there. All right, you guys are ready. If you're all sweet. You bet.
Okay, 4 feet. I'm so sorry about that. Locking always freaks me out.
Really?
It's
Why?
Well, I mean, bigger locks where you're moving a bit more, especially when you're going down. It's just a little less control of the boat.
Really?
If you don't have a fender right, I don't know. I've never had a lock accident, but don't ever want to.
Wow.
That's tugboat driver talk.
He sounds pissed. So wait a minute, what's the deal?
There's a rail bridge, which is normally open, and normally not to worry about it, but right now it's stuck in a closed position. So
Wow.
they're sending someone down to check it out. Gilmerton Bridge, which is right next to there, he's going to let us open, but they're real strict at 3:30. After that, you're not getting through for 2 hours. I made some delicious pancakes on the other side of that bridge the last time I was down, because I sat for hours and hours, and we actually dropped the hook in this little spot.
You did?
Oh yeah, I mean we motored and waited and called, and
Wow.
they just, they were doing construction, they were on their own too.
The last bridge we gotta go through.
I mean, I was nervous about it, but I'm like, maybe it'll be smooth right through. Not so.
But now we gotta wait for some guy to come down and fix the bridge.
Yeah.
Oh.
Security. Southern Bridge number 5 will be opening momentarily.
There's a tiny little swing bridge,
Yeah.
which is just before, right on top of.
Jeez. Wow, two bridges right next to each other. A swing bridge and a lift bridge. So they're gonna open them both at the same time?
Yeah, well usually the swing bridge is open.
Oh,
And so you just deal with the lift bridge, which is...
Don't they
if you-
swing like the train bridges? They only close if there's a train coming, right?
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, and it's remotely operated because the train will be on a schedule and some guy will push a button.
Wow.
Is that a train coming? Did you guys hear a train
I heard
horn?
the train, yeah.
So I'm guessing that means they're not going to open the bridge.
Security. Over Southern Bridge number 5 will be closing momentarily.
Norfolk Southern Bridge number 5, not Norfolk Southern Bastille Bridge.
I thought I heard him say Glimmerton.
I didn't hear that. I heard
Number 5 is the
I didn't hear Glimmerton either.
so hard to hear.
All I got was, I don't even need to give the effort before I get back out.
That's all. Well, we're practically straight. Oh wait, there's a train. There's a train. There's a train going across it. That explains why it's broken.
So are we hopeful that they're going to open the bridge after the train goes or no?
So after the train goes by and some guy comes down and actually fixes a switch, then that bridge will open and we'll be able to go through. You can see here on the chart plotter, the bridge is right there. I can see on AIS that there's another vessel right here. And I believe it's a guy we heard on the VHF, and he's waiting for the bridge to open up also.
One whistle means passing on the port side. Two whistles means passing on the starboard side.
Nice. How many boaters know that you're supposed to do 2 blasts on the horn, and that means I'm going to pass you starboard to starboard?
Most get mad at you if you honk at them at all.
I mean, that's just they're tug drivers.
Yeah, they
take
know.
their craft seriously, and that's the proper verbiage. Is that a good sign or a bad sign when the train that was moving across the bridge we need to go through is stopped on the bridge?
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, now it looks like the train has stopped on the bridge. That's a bit of a mystery. It's now 45 minutes later and we are still here waiting for the bridge. The train did come through and it stopped on the bridge for about 20 minutes and then moved on. The bridge is still not opening. We've just been hanging out in the cockpit and telling stories and eating potato chips and beef jerky and I've just been hovering around the area. That is the man working on the bridge. He is pacing around and talking to his girlfriend on the cell phone.
Don't forget the kicking stones.
And he is kicking stones into the water occasionally. I don't know, maybe he's talking to some new tech support. Get some help trying to figure out why this big bridge doesn't open when he presses the button. This bridge sucks. This bridge does suck. We have been joined by a big barge being pushed by a tug who is obviously also waiting for the bridge to open. And I just moved right out of his way and let him go ahead because he's a working man. I don't want to get in his way. We're going too far over to starboard here, so I want to turn to port without increasing my speed. I'm just going to put it in forward here and then give it a shot of high throttle and then down to no throttle and then take it out of gear. The propeller pushes water on the rudder, which comes out at an angle and makes us turn without making us move forward. I'm almost kind of pivoting on the center of the keel.
I backed out for this thing was going to go through, and then I got the recording position moved out, so they just moved it back over here and riding away. We're sputting it down now. You had a rough day go good, didn't you? Hey, it must be Monday. We get across the creek from where this one was at. That last time they were doing the way to come to it. I'll bet everybody's goes up for you, you be going.
Sounds like you have a case of the Mondays.
When you're at work, does anybody ever ask you if you have a case of the Monday? No. Hell no, man. Get your ass kicked for saying something like that.
Me too. It's one of my favorite movies, Office Space. I've steered us far too far to port, so we're going to do the same thing again. In forward, wheel all the way over to starboard, and then a bit of throttle, and then bring it back. And you can see that the bow is now pivoting over to the starboard side.
You need me.
What?
Do you need me?
Do I need you? Yes, I need you.
It's not an existential question.
Do I need you for what?
For anything right now. I was going to go sit up on the bowsprit.
You're gonna go sit on the bowsprit? Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Have fun. Surprisingly, we're the only boats waiting for the bridge to open. I think at other times of the year, like a dozen boats all waiting for the bridge to open, but this time of year, there's not much recreational boat traffic. But I wonder what it's like inside that thing. It's amazing that he can hold his position so well. Because of this delay, we're wondering if we're going to be able to make it to the anchorage in time to get the hook down before sunset, or if we need to find an alternate place to pull into before the sun sets. Inshore, I do everything I possibly can to avoid having to do any sort of navigation at night. Of course, offshore is a completely different thing. But there's another train coming through. So, it's been now over an hour and a half, and we're eating popcorn.
This bridge is my enemy.
Just waiting and hoping that this bridge opens. There's a pretty good chance it will be motoring into Norfolk after sunset, but we're not as concerned about it because Norfolk's a really big, well-lit city, and the harbor is also well-lit with buoys. There should be enough light for us to navigate to where we're planning to anchor, which is actually only about 7 miles away from our present location. It's now 4:30, so yeah, we'll probably make it. But damn, I hope they don't have a bigger problem with the bridge. It's going to take them a much longer time to fix. In which case, we'll probably go back the way we came and try to tie up at a marina that we passed as we came here. So we'll see what happens next. Meanwhile, we'll have more popcorn. Now the tug has given up. He's not waiting for the bridge anymore. He is heading out. I guess we're gonna bug out of here too and head for the anchorage. Look at that water that he's pushing down. Albert Pike. We're gonna head to an anchorage that's a couple of miles away. It's now 6. Sunset's at 7:15, so we should be able to make that anchorage just in time. Well, all right. He gave up. I guess we should too, huh?
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
You want to try those guys one more time?
Sir, I haven't heard anything from Railroad Bridge number 5 regarding number 7 here. I have no idea what to tell you. I mean, they're in charge of it all on their own, and I haven't seen anybody over there yet to work on it.
Oh, thank you, sir. I guess, do you guys, what's your hours there? So if I want to call you tomorrow morning to find out your opening, how would I do that?
From 6:30 tonight till 6:30 in the morning, it is on demand. Starting from 6:30 till 9:30, it is closed for rush hour traffic. Same thing from 3:30 in the afternoon until 6:30 tomorrow evening will be closed for rush hour traffic. Other than that, it will open on the bottom of the hour.
Roger. Thank you so much, Limited Bridge.
Okay, let's go anchor.
That's it.
There is no other way to get out of here other than turning back the way we came, right? And, you know...
No, this is it.
This is it. I mean,
is it.
otherwise it's like motoring for days.
I think the closest point to jump out would probably be the Oregon Inlet. So we can undo everything we've done.
Wow.
But no, to keep going.
Everything depends on
Everything
this
depends
bridge.
on getting through here.